Welcome everyone, I'm so happy to have you.
Nous aimerions remercier tous ceux et celles qui ont participé et partagé leur incroyable vécu hier.
Yesterday was a wonderful day, it was amazing, and we want to thank you very much for everyone who participated and for all the beautiful voices.
Quelle merveilleuse journée. Nous aimerions débuter cette nouvelle journée en vous lisant un passage d'une vie. Peut-être, qui sait, un message d'espoir. La porte de l'ascenseur s'ouvre. Du haut de ses 3 ans, ma petite fille met sa main, son bras devant moi. Elle veut me protéger. À la sortie, je m'agenouille et la regarde. Dans ses yeux, dans ses grands yeux noirs, je peux voir l'amour, le courage et ce vouloir de vouloir me protéger, de m'aider. Comment, à 3 ans, cet enfant puisse me protéger? Suis-je aussi fragile à ses yeux? Que même cette petite fille puisse croire nécessaire de mettre sa force à ma défense? C'est à l'intérieur de ses yeux, ce matin de haut, que j'ai retrouvé la force et l'espoir. À partir de ce jour, je me suis promis d'essayer de trouver l'espoir, la force, dans chaque regard, dans le regard de chacune de mes sœurs. J'espère que ce message d'espoir pourrait être une source de force pour chacune d'entre vous. Qu'aujourd'hui, avec toutes les histoires à succès, vous puissiez trouver la force qui vous aider à trouver votre voie. Merci. So I'm going to try to say it in English. Vous m'allez France? Okay, the translator is going to do that. I don't think you trust me.
Oh, so here's the English version. The door of the elevator opens from the height of a 3-year-old little girl, and she puts her hand and her arm in front of me, and she wants to protect me. When we get out of the elevator, I kneel down and I look into her eyes. Into her big black eyes, I can see all the love and the courage of her trying to help me and protect me. How is it to be that at 3 years old, a child wants to protect me? Am I so fragile that even a little child, a little girl, may feel necessary to put all her strength in my defense? It is inside her eyes on that August morning that I have found the strength and the hope to get on. From that day on, I have promised myself to try to find hope and strength in the eyes of all of my sisters. C'est tout?
Merci. 2 things from yesterday I want to share. 2 phrases that came to me very strong. A workshop that I attended in participatory action, community-based research. Nothing about us without us. I love that phrase. And then just the whole day together and culminating in Buffy's amazing address, we must stand together. We are standing together. It's my privilege to introduce the morning panel to you, and today, as you know, we were moving through every day a different theme. Yesterday it was hearing the stories, and today it's talking about building success, how we build success today. And we have an amazing panel of women that I've had the good fortune of spending some time with over the last couple of days, and it's just my delight to introduce them to you. So I will be introducing them, and they will be joining us on stage. First we have Luca, who is from originally British Columbia and now from Calgary, who is an amazing musician as well. She entertained us last night at my sister's place with raucous music. There was dancing and a lot of fun. So Luca, please join us. Thank you. Deborah Perry is from Halifax, and she has the most wonderful laugh in the world that I have ever heard. It just makes you want to join her. A strong, beautiful woman from Halifax. And you'll see that we have the country coast to coast. Welcome, Deborah. Colette Smithers is from Calgary. She also joined us at my sister's place last night. I'm not sure where she originally harkens from, but she has a beautiful lilt. And you'll hear that in her speaking this morning. Welcome to Colette. She's from Ireland. And oh, it's my delight to introduce to you Patricia Meany from St. John's, Newfoundland. Yahoo! And we are so grateful that we have Rosalie Waldo Bellissimi, pardon me for if I've not done that last name correctly. She originally harkens from the Congo, more recently 10 years in Montreal, and now we are very fortunate that she is in London. Rosalie, welcome. Also we have Marie who is translating. And how we're going to conduct our panel this morning is that everyone's going to take about 5 minutes and do some sharing, and then I thought we would have what I'm saying is a kick-ass conversation and together. And so, thank you, Luca. And I will, yes. Yes.
Good morning, bonjour tout le monde. My name is Dori Jalikar.
No. The mic closer. We can't hear it.
Hello? Oh, I can't even hear myself now. So as I said, je m'appelle Dori Jalikar, but my name is Luca. And changing my name to Luca using a pseudonym was part of my strategy for escaping the problem of stalking, which maybe a few of you know a little bit about. So I moved to a different community and changed my name to Luca, so if anyone said Doris, I just didn't turn around. So I think that probably saved me from some of the abuse that I had experienced. It didn't keep me out of it though, because I just went back into more relationships that were abusive. And so my story is about realizing. It's about awareness and finding a way out of patterns that were established very early in my life, probably before I remember. I now believe that early childhood abuse remains with you all your life, and you may not know the reason, but if you were violated very early, then it's really hard to shake that. When I was when I was 49 years old, I had already 4 children, and I was childless. I had not considered myself to be a suitable parent because of my low self-esteem, and so I let them be raised by the father or gave 2 of them up for adoption and wallowed in my self-pity and low self-esteem for that many years. Then my father died. My mother was alone taking care of my brother who had MS and who was in an MS hospital, so she was visiting him every day, and I kind of took over the job that my father had been doing, helping her do that. And so for a couple of years, I was just doing that kind of domestic care. So I found myself, after my brother died, really lost. Like, I didn't have any skills anymore. I didn't know anything about computerism, and I had jobs as a younger woman, but I had no skills. besides the low self-esteem that I was telling you about, which led me to enter into numerous abusive relationships, always looking for the ideal, ever after story. So I was wandering around, didn't really know what to do, and I saw an ad for volunteers at the Carnegie Center in the downtown east side. Well, the Carnegie Center is the living room for a lot of people who live in what's called single-room occupancy hotels, and it's a room where, from your single bed that's about 50 years old, you can reach everything in the room. Yeah. And the charge for that just happens to be about $50 more, usually, than what welfare gives you, because that's the landlords up the rent to give themselves a little bit more money. And then if you want to have guests in your room, well, the landlord has the right to charge people $15 to come and visit you, and there's a lot of that kind of stuff that takes place. But anyway, I became a volunteer at the Carnegie Center. That is what was one of the very significant things for me, because as a Métis person who had been denied that information all my life too, I wasn't included anywhere. My family had pretty much given up on me, or I gave up on them. I mean, when you're in a family that is racist and sexist and abusive, you sometimes choose to move on from that. But I didn't have anywhere else to go. So, and plus I was raised a Catholic, and I had begun to question that too. And so the only question my parents ever had for me whenever they saw me was, did you go to church on Sunday? And do you have a job yet? So when I went to the Carnegie Center, I became a full-time volunteer cashier, and I accepted that as a welfare recipient, that was my way of giving back. So I worked every day, 9 hours a day at the Carnegie Center, and I felt fulfilled. I started making friends, and I started to get to know people, and I felt more included. And that's when I started to realize that I had a Native background, and that started making my life have some sense again, because I knew that my way of looking at life and my belief system was not like most other people's that I knew. So the discovery of my heritage was very, very significant in my journey, because I then began to study genealogy and found out that history is all about lies. And so now I'm beginning to be able to articulate that, and that was a very, very important thing for me, because now it's who I am now. Dodi Jarikar, you don't get a name like that accidentally. There's 7 generations of becoming this person who is not really French, not really English, not really Native, like where do I fit? I used to ask my mom, where did your grandmother come from? And she'd say, Quebec. And that was it, and then I finally saw her picture, and I saw that, she was one of the many natives who were Frenchified. And that's what assimilation means. I was supposed to be assimilated and Frenchified, and I am a proud non-assimilated urban nomad. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much, and please thank you so much to everyone who organized this, and I'm very, very grateful to everyone and the creator for making this happen, and I think that we're going to make some big changes here.